What is up, guys and gals? It's me, Thomas Fan01 here, and today we are back at it again with another Transformer figure review. And today we're going to be taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series More Than Meets the Eye collection, Voyager class, a hot rod. And yes, it is time. It is time. I could not resist acquiring this beautiful guy. I just could not resist it. It was just one of those things where I'm like, if I miss out on this one, I'm gonna hate myself because this one's going to be the definitive one for at least the next couple years. So, yeah. Anyways, y'all know the rules. We don't take a look at this. First, we take a look at the packaging, and the packaging is quite interesting, to say the least. You have Hot Rod here with his fish and his fishing pole and in his car mode, and it's Studio Series. Hey, it came from a movie. Same thing on this side, kind of the same thing on this side, and they're showing the pose that you're supposed to pull off here. He's supposed to be able to sit like that, and you can have him fishing because he does have his fishing pole. He does come with a sword and a shield, and there's more to continue on with that. And on this side, it has been 40 years since this movie came out, so there is that. And there is one thing I do want to point out on the top of the box that everybody has pointed out at least once. If you are living in America, or at the very least, you can get this or acquire this, it says the Transformers Le Film. This is not the last night, so obviously this is massively incorrect. This is the French version here, but this would be Les Transformers Le Film, not the Transformers Le Film. So, but anyways, that's it for the box. And bringing the figure on in, here we have Hot Rod. And I gotta say, this figure is definitely a nice refresh and a nice re-release of the original Studio Series 86 figure. For those who were unable to acquire it, and or for those of you who were not able to get it the first time around because scalpers decided to take a hold of it. You can kind of see his head through the windshield there, but pretty much you want to flip that around when we get back into robot mode. But the point is or when we get him back into vehicle mode later. But the point is that this is a much needed refresh of a figure. And when I say refresh, they're re-releasing a figure, but they're giving it to us in animation accurate colors. This magenta red is exactly what I thought they were going to do in the original Studio Series. However, I'm going to bring in the Kingdom Rodimus Prime here. I wholeheartedly expect to see a version like this a version of this in this color scheme at some point. But they had it more of like a darker red going on here instead of this magenta. So I think this is nice. I also think this is nice, but I think that this is nice because this is cartoon accurate. So, yeah. Now, we have to get into his accessories first before we get into any other things with this guy, because he comes with a ton of them. And when I say a ton of them, I mean that's only a small portion. And there's the last piece of it. He comes with all of this, and we'll go through all of this. So, this is the fishing pole here that they very clearly wanted everybody to know that they were packaging this guy with this time around. So that's nice. He comes with a fishing pole. He comes, as shown on the back of the packaging, he comes with his sword and shield, or his lightsaber and his shield, or whatever the heck this is. I don't know what this is from. Someone please tell me down in the comments below what episode from the TV show this is from, or from the movie, and I just completely missed it. I don't remember. So you have that, and these pieces do tab in together. And the reason I tell you this is for a good reason, but there is also a peg in here that you want to flip down, and I'm going to show this for a specific reason. So there's a peg here, and everything of that nature. So I'm going to do this and have all of that plugged down on that below. Okay. Now, he also comes with his blasters, and his blasters definitely are a necessity here. And the blasters are painted in the silver. They just kind of did it in the magenta plastic again. I think with the other one they did it in black plastic and it looked a little bit better, but I don't really think it matters. And these two are the exact same ones that come with the Studio Series one, as is the pizza cutter or the saw blade, whatever you want to call it. So there is that. Now, this is actually pretty nice. So take the saw blade here, and then you'll notice that there are these two little spots here, and there are these grooves on the saw blade on both sides. So you're going to want to put both of those in there. And then you're going to want to take the guns, and you'll notice that the tips of these pieces are not painted, and that's because you're supposed to take them, and you're supposed to plug them into the saw blade right here. Well, let's do that first. Let's plug them into the saw blade. And then what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to take the matrix, and there's a little 5mm port on the back of the matrix, and you're supposed to just plug it right on onto one of the guns. And there is another 5mm port on the fishing pole, so you're going to want to do the same thing with the fishing pole. However, I think you're going to want to swap sides for the gun and the fishing pole, because the fishing pole, you want the real, you want the rod facing upwards towards the saw. And then you're going to take all of this, and you're going to plug all of this back on top of that, like so. And there you have all of that. And guess what? It stores in vehicle mode. Those two spots on the bottom of the guns, you're supposed to take all of this and plug it on top. And yeah. So there you have all of that. There's the monstrosity before you. That is the weapon storage. So yes, it does store all of this on him in vehicle mode. And the same kind of goes for robot mode as well, because this tab is accessible in robot mode as well. However, we're going to remove all of this, and we're going to set it off to the side here. And then we're going to get into scale comparison. So if you'll give me just a second here. Alright, so now that we've done that, let's get into the scale comparisons. And here he is next to another 86 figure. Here he is next to Thundercracker. Here he is next to another More Than Meets the Eye re-release. He's next to Perceptor. Here he is next to Commander Class Prime. And yes, I am aware of the Leader Class Prime that is currently at Target. I'm very much aware of it. No, we are not picking it up. We have the clean version. I don't need to have more childhood trauma. So, yeah. And finally, here he is next to his Kingdom Rodimus counterpart. So, there you have that. Alright, now to get this guy into his robot mode, and it is exactly the same as the other one. So, and to do that, you're going to want to, how do we want to start this? Let's start with the arms. So with this, you're going to want to untab it. Mine did not come with a tab attached to one of these. I don't know why. But you're going to want to kind of just wiggle it out a little bit till this piece lifts up, and then you're going to want to bring it all the way around. And then you're going to take this piece, and there's little grooves in here. You're just going to want to do that. And then you're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just ever so carefully. Ever so carefully. Oy. This figure gives me nightmares and flashbacks to the first time I did this, when I broke a tab on this one. So we're gonna try and do this a little bit safer this time around. So just ever so carefully. I don't like that. There we go. There we go. Okay. Ever so gingerly get this piece to, again, flip around, and then fold it all the way back around like so right there. Now, then we're going to take this piece, going to bring it all the way up, rotate it, and it's just going to sit there for now. Let's get the legs done real quick, just so we can get this done and out of the way. You're going to take the legs, you're going to just kind of splay them outwards. You're going to untab these pieces from the car mode, And then you're going to flip out the knee, fold out the foot. Take this, collapse the wheel in and the tailpipes, and then that just kind of tabs and grooves itself right on into the calf right there. So do the same thing on the other side. We're going to untab this. We're going to bring this down. Going to bring this all the way around. Flip out the foot. Close up this piece here. Tab all that back in place. And there we have all of that. And now we can work a little bit more safely on the arms. To come to the front of this, you're going to bring the front end of the Lamborghini. You're going to bring it to the front all the way up. You're going to fold it all the way forward, excuse me. And you're going to take the headlights and you're going to just fold these in on themselves like so. And then we are going to take the arms and you're going to untab them from the windshield here. Just kind of untab them like so. And then you're going to come to the bottom section here. You're going to untab all of this. And then all of this is going to just kind of free up a little bit. Open this back up or rotate these all the way forward. Bring them down. And then you're going to want to make sure all of this is open properly. And then you're going to want to take these shoulder pieces here. You're going to want to rotate it all the way around. Then you're going to want to close this all the way back up. And then you're going to bring this all the way down. But first, flip out the head. Then close all this up. And then going to bring all of this back around like so. And then you're going to make sure this piece here, there's a little spot right there. There's a tab that's going to go right on into it. Rotate the waist all the way around. And we're almost done, I promise. And this is just a small side note because we already are in this mode. This peg here is for the pizza cutter saw. And you are supposed to take it and it's just supposed to go right on there. So there you have all of that with the saw. And I'm going to now transform it all properly because this piece also is for the fix me scene in the movie. If you guys don't know what that is, I'm not going to sit here and explain it to you, but the Studio Series 86 Cup has this feature where you can rip off his arms and you can basically just reenact the scene. However, for this, we're going to just get it into his actual robot mode. So bring this all the way down and you're just going to close this or flip this all the way around and then close it back up. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're just going to bring this all the way down, flip this around, flip that back, and there you have Hot Rod in his robot mode. And I gotta say, Hasbro, this is what we wanted. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. Finally, a figure I can actually say I am not too ashamed to have said I paid full price for. Because they were originally, I was originally very mad at them for the first price point that they gave us for this. It was originally going to be $32.99. This was originally going to be original Voyager class price. Then they decided to change it, and then it went to $34.99. And also take note, I don't know what the issue is that everybody's having because the people who I've been paying attention to have been saying that these shoulders are super duper loose. I am not having that problem or that issue. Mine's not giving me any problems whatsoever. Like none here. So I don't know what I don't know what the issue is that everybody else is having, but I'm going to assume my quality control my figure was better in quality control. So there is that. And the original figure, as does this one, have the hands that you can open them up and do everything of that nature. So it also does have the visor up at the top here. So you can totally have him. Come on. This is where fingernails helps, but I don't have them. So this is also where a locking point might help on the head, but you know what? It's okay. So he does have the 80s biker visor or police biker visor. So yeah, so close that back up. And I will say I do like this. The collar is painted as well, so I'm not going to complain about that on that front. Backpack, again, minimal backpack. Love this. So definitely love that. So I am not going to complain much about that. All right, so now that we've done all of that, what do we want to see first? Well, I suppose I can show off the sword and the shield first. So the shield is going to be kind of the easiest piece here. The sword is one piece I'm not going to be real too thrilled to show off, because you have to open up the hands in order to get this into his hands, and I really don't like doing that. That snap. Be very careful of your figures, guys. So let's just very carefully get this back out. There we go. Yeah, I do not like that. It's already going to stress that out enough. I'm not going to be doing that again. So moving all of this from him like so. Pulling that off to the side. And I suppose we could also... Well, let's have him with the fishing rod. What the hey? What the hey? Let's have him with his good old fishing rod. So there we go. He can go fishing with Prime. There we go. So we'll have him like this for scale comparison. So now that we have him in his robot mode and all ready to go, let's get him into his scale comparisons. So here he is with Thundercracker. I'm really excited for Skywarp and this Skywarp and Starscream that are coming out. I'm really excited for that. Here he's next to Perceptor. Here he's next to Prime. And finally, here he is next to his Kingdom Rodimus Prime counterpart. You know it's Rodimus Prime because this one holds the Matrix. He comes with a Matrix. It's just not that one. It's this one. So, but anyways, and you can kind of see where they were going with this guy versus where they were going with this guy. So I can also kind of agree with it at that point too. So, all right, let's remove this guy. All right, final thoughts. Let's get into that while we're here. Well, man, I gotta say, this figure is beautiful. And I think I'm going to give this a much better review and a much higher ranking than I did my previous one. I don't even think I ranked my previous one. I can't even remember. But I have to say this, for a reissue and for a recolor of a reissue, this is beautiful. The magenta perfectly captures the whole point of the animation accuracy, of the 80s animation accuracy, no less. So we have that. We have the fishing pole. In fact, we even have some extra bits of lore about this figure that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are or are not aware of. For those of you who are very not aware of this particular hot rod with this color scheme, the fishing pole, the matrix, the sword, the shield, all of that, and one blast effects part were supposed. This one, and like, it's missing the blast effects part, but this was supposed to come out in the Legacy United Velocitron Speedia 500 collection, right around the same time with Cosmos and what was it, G2 Drag Strip. They also were doing what was the GoBot that they were doing? I can't remember which one it was off the top of my head, but the point being is that they were going to release this guy and drop him in there in that line. They canceled it at the last minute and decided not to release a Voyager for it. A lot of people were not really aware of that, but they were very also bummed because this hot rod was supposed to be the hot rod, and it is still the hot rod, in my opinion. So, with that being said, I think I have to give this thing a much higher ranked review. I'm going to give this thing, you know what? I'm going to give this thing a wonderful 9.5 out of 10. The only reason why it's not getting a 10 out of 10 is because it still has the same problems as the old one did. That tab on the back of the forearm shots right here, this tab right here, this piece didn't even come with one, and you can clearly tell it was going to at one point, but they just painted over it. So my copy, this one's missing a tab, but this one is not. So this I'm not going to complain too much, but it still has that issue, and I'm very, very concerned about that over time. But as it stands, it's a beautiful figure. I don't hate this. This is wonderful. So 9.5 out of 10 seems only fair and reasonable. And again, with that half a point being taken away, is that price point, because the price point, again, is not one that I'm really too thrilled to pay. However, when you have a Voyager class that comes with not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, 5, or 6, but 7 accessories, and all of them pertain to the figure at some point, either in the film or in the TV show afterwards, I can't say that the $42 price range is bad. Where I can say it is bad is where they get you on the taxes, because it's about $50, and I'm not going to say I appreciate the fact that there is $50 worth here. However, I can appreciate what they gave us for our nearly $50. I will say getting the battle damaged version of this guy is going to be a better bang for your buck. But at the same time, if you want to go for this guy, it is a good It is a good buy. So, yeah. Anyways, that is my review for the Transformers Studios Series 86 More Than Meets the Eye 40th Anniversary Voyager Class Hot Rod. And this is Thomas Fan01 saying, do not forget to subscribe for more content. Don't forget to leave a like on this video. Do not forget to hit that notification bell somewhere around here, where you can then all be notified of all the cool Transformers that we do in the future. However, the next thing we are doing is going to be going to NostalgiaCon. That's right, we're going to NostalgiaCon. We are going to NostalgiaCon on Friday the 13th of March? Yeah, Friday the 13th. We're going on Friday the 13th. It's a bad day to go do anything, but we're going to NostalgiaCon that day because, you know, hey, they're going to be celebrating some decades. They're going to be showing off some cool stuff. Vendors, voice artists. They're doing a small Avatar The Last Airbender reunion. I'm excited. Y'all definitely need to go. You know, catch me while you're there. We will be doing a small live stream while we are there. And this is Thomas Fan01 saying, do not forget to check out Jordy's Rail videos, Patrick's Voice Rail, Alexander Rothschild, Riveted Rail Fan, Riveted Reviews, Bravely GG, iStar552, Take Along Productions, Kitten Cat 999, Zaga the Animator, Truster Tube, Sentinel Edits, Winter Night. You know what? We're going to say Corey Tucker from Facebook. And also, I'm going to shout out, what's his name? I can't remember. Geez Louise, now I'm drawing a blank. If I already said Lemon Lime Studios, I do apologize. But Lemon Lime Studios one more time. And this is Thomas Fan01 saying, do not forget to keep playing with your toys. Goodbye.